There we go. Good morning, boys and girls. We're live from another side of the world. And let me get my screen sorted here. Right, one in the chat if you can see and hear me all right. It's more hotel Wi-Fi streams. Looks pretty good on my side, but one's in the chat. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yes, back for that fast New York session. That was really good yesterday. Really, really good. Really good. Every time I've traded a New York morning session has been pretty positive. So let's have a look again today. We are above the value levels for the majority of yesterday's levels. So you get your overnights, your previous days, and the previous weeks all beneath price at the moment. We have one previous day value high up at 797. And then, of course, these overnight levels will change shortly in just under an hour. So we have a little bit to look at here. I'm expecting some sort, if we hold above this, be looking at some sort of pullback to bounce from these points. And if we pull up to the highs here on the open, then this could be another potential level to look at for a pullback. So got those 2 points, and then of course we'll see what happens with the overnight point of control, value low, value highs. Those will be the main areas to watch going into the open. So a couple of trade ideas. We're not in a terrible spot right now, which is cool. You can see fair value was initially lower. Majority of the session overnight has been more of a D-shaped type profile, back and forth across this range. And now that we've broken away, it is finding some value higher. You can see those areas here where it puts in these big high volume nodes, pretty close to POC that was put in lower. So value is slowly shifting upwards here, a potential bullish sign, and we have now put in this sort of pocket of value up higher at these levels, which is overnight value high, previous day's point of control. So value shifting higher, high volume nodes being broken and holding above. So overall, fairly bullish scenario at the moment. But it doesn't mean that much. We'll trade either side. But there we go. That's your little rundown. And of course, want to be looking to get a setup closer to the open rather than trying to trade right now. The best opportunities being after the open is the idea. Cool. Everyone can see in here, right? Good. Get your chat open here so I can read your comments properly. Good morning. Sean C, do I keep yesterday overnight for the next Globex? Yes. If you mean this part, Sean C, so if you mean the 6 p.m. from yesterday, Monday, 6 p.m. through to 9:30, those overnight levels, you'll hold them. Every single value level you have will hold through to the close of its next session. So this 6 p.m. to 9:30 profile here that we're pushing across now, that will hold through. Those levels we'll use all the way through to tomorrow's 9:30 a.m. open as well. So this is, it's applicable from now all the way through the New York RTH, all the way through tomorrow's overnight until the next overnight profile close. Bright and early, boys and girls, let's go. Yes, bright and early. It's 11:40 p.m. where I currently am now. Not as bad as yesterday. Yesterday was, 1:30, 2 a.m.? Not too bad. Yes, Ricky, close to midnight. I'm currently in South Australia as well. Not too bad. Yesterday I traded this from New Zealand. 1:30, 2 a.m. Not too bad, but not great. Tonight's a bit better. A little sleep before the stream, and it's still kind of early. So, morning, everybody. Do I only trade ES or NQ? I trade either, but this year's been ES. David, hello David. Just a quick question on your settings of the volume profile. In the settings, when you choose a color, I know the color's not important. Can you also set the transparency for each color? Yeah, I leave the transparency as it is, David. So the reason those colors are different there, they should be at about 25%, is so that it can show you the differentiation between volume that's in the value area versus outside. My thoughts on 5 times 25k TBT accounts playing with micros. Hey JK, I'm not a huge fan of micros, but at the end of the day, it's all about what's most financially viable. I think 50k is best value for money in terms of drawdown, profit to drawdown, but the 25ks can be, especially if you're doing it with micros, I think that's workable. I took the bounce and I'm good in good profit. Nice. Yes, Christian, a reinforced level. Reinforced level is we have value levels that also have a high volume node across them. So this is both of these are examples actually. What that means is when you get a breakout and a retest, that's a more confident area to use as support resistance. So you can see, let's pull this thing back here to the lower high volume node. If we go, if you look at this, and you pull maybe to here after it broke away, when price broke away from this particular level here, this is what the profile looked like. You'd put in a cluster of volume right across the value levels here, previous week's value high, overnight point of control. So all that means is when you have a reinforced level, when price breaks that level and comes back, that high volume node reinforces the value levels and makes it a more confident, stronger level to, in this case, get long at. So anytime you see a break away from value levels, if there's a high volume node, it's one of my favorite setups. Favorite, most confident trades is that reinforced break and retest. So you got a similar thing happening here on this next one up above. If we pull that across, we got sort of cluster of volume. This time I would actually put that a bit higher. That high volume is put in a little bit higher there. So what I want to do, if the price came back to pull back towards these levels, I would more be looking to get long if that was the trade I want to take over here between this range. So yeah, high volume node more or less confirms value levels. $11.11 here in Adelaide. Oh yes, what? Anyways, I'm at the south part of Australia, Melbourne. So 11:44 where I am. Perth is the best place with the right time in Australia. Okay, nice. Yeah, Perth's what? Another 2 hours behind this will be what? 10:30, 10:45, 9:45. I've been trading ICT for the last few months. Haven't had any good results. Do you recommend switching to volume profile or keep trading ICT? Mikkel, just to put it straight, if I could convert everyone I can from spending time on ICT and switching to volume or using volume profile in some form of order flow analysis before going too deep into ICT, I will every single time. And that's not to say there's anything inherently wrong with trading ICT. It's just I wish I switched a lot earlier. And a lot of the ICT concepts are, so there's some good things that are hidden in there, but a lot of it's just speculation on things that aren't really true. A lot of it's based on conspiracy theories and ignores a whole portion of futures trading that professionals use. There's zero volume analysis, zero order flow analysis. It's all based on candlestick charts, and that's just putting you off to a bad start. If all retail traders can start from whatever you trade, incorporating volume and order flow from the get go, that's going to greatly improve your odds, greatly improve your chance of success, long term success as a trader. You don't have to trade volume profile strictly like I do. You could mix it with something else. Some people mix ICT and volume profile if it really does resonate with you. But yeah, my honest answer is just give it up while you're still ahead. If it's not working for you, try volume profile, try order flow, and just give it a spin for a month, and you'll probably see very quickly how different it is. Yeah, I think the majority of people here in the chat could probably attest to the same thing. If you came from ICT before, you wish you switched earlier, or at least added things earlier, added volume earlier. TC want to learn more on order flow analysis. What can you suggest I do? First of all, check out the Cami Capital playlist, order flow. There's an order flow introduction series, order flow playlist on my channel. It's a nice introduction, simplified. If you want to get a bit more in depth and more into the nitty gritty, check out Jigsaw Trading's introduction to order flow on YouTube. Just use YouTube, free resources for now. See if it resonates, see if you understand, see if it makes sense. This thing's ripping up higher for now. I am really waiting to see these overnight levels get put in, the new overnight levels. So we got another 42 minutes. Do you ever reset the TPT account, Pro account, or just taking an eval? Michael, I have reset TPT Pro accounts twice in the past. Twice. And only ever the 150k accounts. But I wouldn't do it again. That was earlier. I wouldn't do it again. Just because the eval is easy enough to pass, and I think the cost benefit there is not that great. It's quite expensive to reset a TPT Pro account. I'd rather just, spend a small fraction of that on another eval, trade it alongside my other funded accounts, so no extra effort really, and then just give it 5 days and pass. Depends how much patience you have. If you want to spend another 5 days getting back to the pro stage, then just get an eval. But if you can't be bothered, if it's going to be too long or not worth your time, then in that case, reset. Do I use order flow? I do. I don't use order flow actively to trade. I'm purely a volume guy, but I do use the whole theory behind order flow. Not theory, but the mechanics of order flow to inform my trades. Dragon, Malik, what's up, man? David traded ICT, had good results, but moved to volume profile trading. My performance increased tenfold. Yes, David. Not an uncommon story, to be honest. Not an uncommon story. Does this strategy work on higher time frames? Yes, Wyatt, it sure does. So see these orange levels here. These are the previous week's levels. You can go down to doing monthly levels. You can do yearly levels, weekly levels, monthly, daily. You can use these levels as swing trade points as well. I also trade a variation of this on higher time frames. Different asset class, but yeah. Backtesting with CVD seems to be promising. Yes, Green Days Trader, I have used CVD in conjunction with this strategy in the past. It's really good. The way I approach my trading is I just remove anything that I don't necessarily need in the end. So I actually had volume profile, I had CVD, I had VWAP, I had what was the other tool I'd used? I'd used Bookmap alongside this, and there was one more tool. At one point, I was also using moving averages, but it's all these tools are good. In the end, I didn't need all those tools alongside the volume profile levels. It just needed the basic volume profile, reading the context around the profile and shifting value was all I needed in the end. But CVD is a great tool to help inform your trades as well. Absolutely. Chris Amirian, good morning, sir. Lions, we use yesterday's overnight profile until 9:30 when today's overnight profile is complete. Yes, correct, Lion. Correct. Who kidnapped you? Yes. If you're just joining, I'm not in my usual spot, not my usual country. I'm looking a bit kidnapped in this little thumbnail. Kidnapped, shoved in this little shoebox room and forced to stream. Right at previous day's value area high now. No trade here for me, just watching until closer to 9:30, but we'll see how price reacts here. It will be interesting to see if we break away from this. If we break out of previous day's value high, then wow, what a bullish start to the day. If we break above that, here we are. There's no other confluence at that level right now. So if you do trade that level, it's a C-rated trade. One single confluence being just the value level. Value level alone can be good trades sometimes, but I am waiting for more confluences and waiting for closer to 9:30. And I want to see. I really love to trade the overnight value levels from the recently closed profile once we get 9:30. Do I have any videos that go over the basics of volume trading that you can watch? Yes, Mikhail, please look at my channel. There's a playlist called Volume Profile Series that goes through. It's got breakdowns of how I use the volume profile day to day. It's got explainer videos explaining how to read a volume profile. I think it's even got the settings breakdown, and it's also got trade reviews, etc. So there's a bunch on my channel for free, and then I also have a small volume profile trading course as well, which is linked in the description. It's a one-time fee, 147 USD. Lifetime access to the course. And then after the course, you have the option of joining our school group, SKOOL. If you're not familiar with that, it's like a online forum/community where there is new content being added to that every week, and of course community content as well. So that is an optional add-on at the end of the course. I'll probably be changing that one-time 147 soon and just wrapping it all into the school group at a monthly fee. So that will be changing soon. Tom Cruise, the Hackers hoodie look. Now that's taking it back. I love that movie. Love it. I love a good cheesy 90s movie, eh? All-time highs at 6,800. Yeah, yeah. Strong start off to the morning here. Not even the main open yet. We're already pushing out these new highs. There it is. There's your all-time high. 6,800 to the tick. So we are not far off that to start the morning. It's right there. Right here. All-time high. Am I on the 1 minute time frame? Yes. What session do I normally trade? I'm normally trading the Asian Open, so I'll normally trade right after 6 p.m., around 6, 7 p.m. That's my usual session. And the normal stream time, these New York morning sessions are temporary. The normal stream time for me is 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. But I am traveling at the moment, so now this is the most convenient time to stream for the next 2 weeks. Lolita, welcome to the channel. Started watching your VP playlist yesterday. Great stuff. No worries. Awesome. Derek Lee, take care, man. Thanks for popping in every day. Peter, looks like we're going to break out. Yeah, it's looking pretty strong so far. Really close to those all-time highs. It's only 3 minutes to 9. So yeah, what I'm hoping to see is this value area high shift up. And then on that 9:30, get that overnight value high as a level of support. I'm hoping it shifts up towards this sort of area here where you have the previous day's point of control, overnight value high of the previous day. I'm hoping it shifts up to that point and then using that as extra confluence for on the open. If we can get a pullback from this all-time high, boom, that would be nice. It would be nice. Yes, if you've already purchased the course, your access, your pricing won't change. This is just for new members. So if you haven't purchased the course yet, that $147 pricing and one-time lifetime access will change soon. It's going to change. Yeah, I'm working on getting it all shifted over now. So, yeah. If you are going to grab it, now is the time. Of course, after I change it'll still be a fair deal, but that one-time access thing is changing soon. You don't need to focus on all order flow tools, just focus on one to master it. Do you use any others like Footprint? Yes, James, you can just use one. Like, for example, for me, I use order flow in the sense of understanding order flow mechanics and how that aligns with volume profile. But I don't actually use any order flow tools themselves anymore, just because I didn't need it other than volume profile. But footprint charts being another good example, footprint charts would work very well with volume profile. There was a period of time where I was also using that. That is the other tool that I was trying to remember. Footprint charts, good tool. Use these things, anything. Pick one order flow tool. If you are going to use one, just pick one and use it. Put it alongside volume profile. Master it, like you said, master it. And here comes that all-time high again. We are one tick away. That is most certainly going to break. All-time highs, yeah, there you go. New all-time high. New all-time high. One tick higher. Louis, cool. Yes, I've starred your email. What is the streaming camera I'm using? I'm using a Sony ILCE. ILCE 7. It's pretty good, isn't it? Pretty good. Ryan Bryan, good morning, sir. David R., do you ever feel like you're missing out on gains in profit when you set a 3-pointer or even a 5-pointer, or just happy with multiple cons? Just happy with multiple contracts, David. I am the type of trader. I've, over the last, so I've almost been trading 8 years now. Over that time, I have experimented with higher R models, holding trades for longer. With my personality, my trading personality, the longer I hold a trade, the worse my day gets. Even if it's going in my favor, it doesn't work well with my personality. I like to get in and out, high leverage, in and out small trades, so I'm still securing, a nice amount of cash, but then I can get out of the market as quick as possible. There are situations where I'll hold a runner, which case I view that kind of like free money at that point. If a trade runs 3 to 5 points, maybe I've got 6 contracts on, and I say I take 4 contracts off at 5 points, move the remaining 2 contracts to break even though it's slightly negative R over time. If this was to continually happen, if my trade stops out at break even after taking those first 4 contracts, I don't really mind it because I've secured my 4 contract win, made a decent amount of cash, and then get to secure on those remaining 2 contracts, get to secure, potentially part of a bigger move. So if I am going to go for a bigger risk to reward play, that's how I do it. But most of the time I'm getting out completely at 3 to 5 points just for peace of mind. I don't really feel like I'm missing out if that happens. I get that trade, lock it out, walk away, and I don't even check the charts again until the next day. Take profit and forget. Because I know every single day or every single session, every single hour, there's going to be another volume profile set up. So I'm not, if I miss a big move or miss a runner, it's not a huge deal. There'll be another trade in the next 15, 20 minutes. Which prop firm do I recommend, Roberto? Number 1 is Take Profit Trader. Take Profit Trader is the best all-arounder. Best, set of benefits, clear rules. They're the prop firm I use the most. Take Profit Trader. Traderify is another good one, especially for beginners. Learn and earn, instant straight to funded. It is kind of limiting for already consistent traders, but for a beginner to learn and earn, and for pretty freely transparent rules, Traderify is a good option. And then we've got Apex, which I do actually recommend Apex, even though people always complain about Apex being hard, whatever. It's not that hard. There's just more rules involved, but Apex has the best scaling opportunity. So once you're confident in your trading and, you're able to pass evals, you've taken payouts before, Apex is one of those ones where you can really dial in, scale up. Am I impatient in real life too, or is it just trading? Currently finding my trading personality, and in trading I'm impatient, hate to hold long, but in real life not. Yes, Philip, in real life I'm extremely impatient, extremely. So it's just about knowing yourself, right? Like you said, if you know that in trading you're impatient, then you should adapt your strategy to that impatience. I'm not a believer in changing your personality to try and be a positional trader where you're holding something longer. I think you should change your trading to adapt your existing personality versus changing your personality to match your trading. Easier to change your trading than it is to trade your personality. So if you're impatient as a trader, then focus on scalping. Take base hits in and out. I mean, you guys saw the trade yesterday. That was we sat here for an hour until the setup showed itself and was in and out of that trade in like 50 seconds, and that was done. It's a funded account, real money. And I didn't look at the charts again. Well, I looked to mark out the levels for the stream, but since that trade, I didn't look again until today, until right now. Kai Capital, Mr. Bradley, what's up, man? Thank you very much. Which profile are these nodes from? This is the developing overnight profile. Tunde. I am using live data on TradingView. That's not plan specific. That's purchasing data separately. So I have the TradingView Pro or Essential, whatever. I don't know what it is. It's one of the premium plans. And then I have the market data add-on. Hoister, what's up? Shoots and Roots says something I need to follow is the patience aspect. Took the trade at value high on a short. Grabbed my ankles on it almost instantly. No more C trades for me. Fair enough. Yeah, just know your personality. No, I don't think you should change. If you are impatient, naturally adapt your trading style to taking quick trades in and out. But yeah, know your personality. Know what works for you. Yes, stream is 15 seconds delayed. Yep. Do I know anyone who has used the Tradeovate prop yet? No, I do not know. I've seen the logo now on Take Profit Trader, and I grabbed a new eval to see if it was the new platform, but it just seems to be regular Tradeovate so far. So I don't know if it's actually out or functional yet. We got a bunch of volume being put in across this all-time high, obviously. So you can see that node developing up here. Not long to go now, 22 minutes until the open, so we should be able to see some nice setups happening soon. The play I'll be looking at, as mentioned earlier, would be some sort of pullback from these all-time highs, and ideally to what I want to see, this overnight value high here, the developing value high. I want to see that shift up before the open so I can find some sort of retest. Nice level would be 790, 792. Let's see how we go on the open. Not long, 21 minutes. Oh yeah, absolutely. Green Days Trader, CVD. CVD is a great tool for Confluence. Absolutely. Got to be careful with too many quick trades because that leads to tilt if you don't have the mentality. Yes. Yes. All these approaches have their downsides. You got to, yeah. So that's where the discipline comes in. If you are an impatient trader and you are, wanting to take a more scalping approach like I do, 3 to 5 points in and out, then yes, that is the one downside you'll have to fight is, that same impatience and that same base hit mentality can turn into what would be one good trade for the day could turn into one good trade, one bad trade, then you tilt, go for 3 trades. I mean, it's the same thing that affects a lot of strategies, but it just happens quicker. So, yes, you do have to be disciplined if you're taking a scalping approach to know what's your point of stopping? When are you stopping for the day? Like going to the casino, what's your number to walk out? Whether that's on the upside or the downside, when are you walking away? The longer you're in the casino, the more likely you're going to lose. How do you trade all-time highs with volume profile when there's no confluence, really? Yeah, Swan, that's the $1 million question. I mean, we got a couple confluences up here, so we're not in a terrible spot. We've got a massive node developing, massive shelf developing right across that all-time high. So that's actually a good thing because we have a couple of support levels to the downside to look at for potential pullbacks. The whole idea when you're, pushing all-time highs is not to fade it, but to keep going until proven otherwise. So that just means every pullback, instead of trying to play that pullback as a short or a reversal off the all-time high, look at every pullback as a long opportunity. So knowing that, where is the best logical long opportunities here? Well, we have, if we pull back, there is a previous day value area high. Not much confluences on that other than it just being a value high. So it's a single confluence trade there. It is one potential level to look for a pullback and retest. I may potentially take that. If that's all we have off the open, I'll take that with smaller risk. I'm not hugely against that. But the better trade, the better level would be if it pulls back, if it's able to on the open have a nice retracement back towards this cluster of volume that's been put in and these value levels. That's probably the best level for potential support in terms of confluences. So I would prefer that one, but I will absolutely, if on the open we only pull back to previous day's value high, take a C-ranked trade. That's a potential trade idea right there. And depending how volatility looks on the open, I might just do the same as yesterday. 3 points in and out. Just looking for levels where there's a high chance of a reaction and taking it. But yeah, I don't never like the mentality that people have of fading all-time highs. I always like to follow it until price really reverses. So what that would look like in this case would be if we break below support, retest on the underside, drop down, and we keep breaking high volume nodes and value levels, breaking through, retesting on the underside and continuing to move down, that would be a sign to potentially look at shorting. But while it holds up at the support levels, I'll just keep following it until it breaks. The other thing I was going to say about all-time highs, when you've only got the current profile, is just watching those nodes. So if here we retest this point and we break back above, if we can break that high volume area up at all-time highs, we break that point, then that becomes the new support level. Yes, these are C-ranked trades, if so, because there's only a single confluence on that, but it's still a trade setup right there. If it breaks, retest that cluster of volume, entry right across there, stop loss behind the node, and just take an arbitrary target to the upside. Yeah, when you're at all-time highs, it's very hard to target in terms of, looking for a past level or past volume because there is none. So arbitrary targets and then potentially holding a runner is a good approach in those situations. How many minis do I normally use? Michael, I'll use all the way up to 15 on the funded accounts. Take Profit Trader, you can use 15 right off the bat on your funded account. No scaling plan or anything. I'll use right up to 15. It all depends on the dollars risked for me on the trade setup. And if my trade setup allows it, if my stop loss is tight enough, I will go right up to 15 contracts. So I more go based off dollar amounts. I'll risk a tenth of my drawdown, to put it short. A tenth of my drawdown on a trade. If I'm looking to take one trade a day, I'll risk a tenth of drawdown. You can't see my screen above previous day's value high. That's because nothing's there. It's all fresh. It's fresh territory. There we are. It's tapping that previous day value high right now. Right now. I'm not taking this right now, but we're right there. Crazy, eh? All-time highs before the open. Is there a trade copier that can execute on 2 different prop firm accounts? Yes. Yes. Most of the third-party trade copiers can. Nordic all-time highs is above 800. The previous day's value high is right here, 797.50. The all-time high was 6,800, just above that. And we just popped that out now. New all-time high is 6,802.75. Yes, that's by the way, guys, if you do get the stream, you have to earn it, right? You got to get your likes up to 200 likes, and we also get giveaways going. We'll get giveaways going towards the end of the session here. I normally stream for about an hour and a half, 1 hour 30 minutes. So towards the end of that session, we'll get the giveaways going, but 200 likes needed. I've got one Take Profit Trader account left. Many Apex accounts left to give away. But one Take Profit Trader left to give away. So we can give, you know what, to celebrate these New York session streams, I'll give away that final Take Profit Trader account. Let's give away one Apex, one Take Profit Trader account. So 2 winners today. Like the stream up to 200 first. First requirement, earn it. And then we can get that giveaway going later today. Meaning within the next 40 minutes. David, what's up, man? It exploded. I know, pre-market pushing new highs. That overnight value high shifted exactly where I wanted it to. So that's a perfect spot. So that's the trade I'm looking at. That's the ideal trade I'll be looking at on the open, is a push back down to what is now and what will likely be in 11 minutes, the overnight value high with the high volume node with the previous day's POC all in one spot. So that's a really nice level. So I'll be looking to trade that on a pullback on the open. Otherwise, if we push new highs right off the open, push above, I'll be looking just to trade the new shelves as they go up. Just follow the trend. Look at that, though. That's finding a bit of support right off the value level alone so far. Again, a C-ranked trade there. Potentially a bit more shortly as it's putting in a shelf across that level as well. That node was not there previously. So a lot of volume coming in at that point. Lucap trading, nice, man. Up 1K today on the evals. The live stream tonight, I can finally work on the pro accounts. Yes. Malik. Fine if you want. I'll take the take profit account if you want. Can you explain the backtesting volume being wonky? Is that only on TradingView? Yeah, on TradingView through a chaser. On TradingView, if you backtest and use the bar replay feature, the volume profile, the levels are completely wrong when you try and use bar replay. You can backtest and going back and drawing the levels out manually, but don't use bar replay mode if you're gonna do the backtesting. Just go back, mark the levels, and see what setups happen. But again, I'm not a fan of backtesting as a whole because, I do like to do it if you're learning something new, a new strategy. I do like to go back and just see, okay, does this have anything to it? Just to just see for my own eyes, okay, is this something that actually is working a couple of times? If yes, then I prefer to forward test so I can get a more accurate picture of how it works in real time. Because there's so many things you can't account for in backtesting, in my opinion anyway. That's before I did volume profile, back when I traded in ICT and all that. I've never been a huge fan of backtesting. Like to forward test with, little to no risk paper or micros on a eval is another good one, and just forward test. That's my favorite approach to any sort of learning of a new strategy. My thoughts on trading on an iPad. No problem with it, to be honest. I also trade on an iPad every now and then if I'm on the go. No problem with it. Lucap trading, no worries, man. No worries. Glad to see. By the way, Lucap trading, awesome first stream yesterday. Awesome. 200 plus viewers on your first stream is fantastic. Good luck with today, man. Which TradingView tool am I using for the pulls? For the volume profile, that is FRVP. All right, 8 minutes to the open. Let's go. I'm going to start to move the overnight levels now because these will probably be about where they are as we go. And so I'm going to shift these to what this profile will be shortly. So moving overnight value low to here, 7.6. Overnight point of control comes down to here. That one probably won't change. 778.25. And then overnight value high, moving that just here. So pretty close to the one beforehand. So yeah, that's your stacked level right there. You got previous day's point of control, overnight value high, all in the same area. Pretty nice. Troy, good morning, man. Landshark Trades, what's up? Have a great day. Heading out already. Nice. Get my Discord stream. Nice, man. Landshark Trades, thank you for stopping by as always. Confirmation bias. Yes, that's the word I'm looking for backtesting. Too much confirmation bias, it can give you results that, I don't know, you just get too overexcited with. I'd rather take everything as real as possible when it comes to trading. Forward test for a month even. Low risk, but real trading, real forward testing, collect data, what's working, what's not working. Since the PDPOC is just at the bottom of the volume node, where would you place your stop loss? Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. I would place it in this case, so I would be looking to get, if we can pull back down to here, I would be looking to get long right on the edge of that node, and I'll give it a 5-point stop. So it's below that node, right? So it's got that node stop loss outside of the node. Always want your stop loss outside of a node, and then take profit I'd have back up towards previous day value high. So that's what my position will look like. If we pull back down to the overnight value high of this current session here, yeah, I'd be getting long around 791. Stop loss at 786.25. Take profit up there, 5 points, closer to previous day value high. I may actually leave a runner in this trade as well. Let's see. Let's see how we go. Because if we hold up at overnight value high and previous day point of control, if we hold up there, that could be a really nice launch pad if we are going to push new highs today. We've already broken the all-time highs, so let's see. Exciting times. 5 minutes till the open. Oh yeah, Malik, absolutely, man. As long as you're not like self-promoting all the time, other people do find that helpful. If you're going to be live trading volume profile, other people in the group will absolutely find that helpful to see how, see how you guys apply it, see how you do it. So go for it, man. Do you bother leaving the previous overnight levels too? That is triple stack on NQ. No, Green Days Trader, I'd prefer to have as recent levels as possible. I don't like, the older the level, the less relevant it becomes, because you want to see how value is developing as recent as possible, right? Apart from the weekly levels being the exception. You want that most recent data as possible, because the older the volume data gets, the less relevant it is. No worries, Swan. Sweet dreams. Lucap, yeah, man. This is something for you other guys on the stream. Live streaming or trading is surprisingly one of the most, it's hard, but it's one of the most beneficial things psychologically you can do for your trading. Live streaming my trading, I've been doing it for 2 years, 1 year consistently and the second year on and off now, has been fantastic for my trading psychology and discipline, because you can't tilt, you can't really do anything crazy on stream. It's embarrassing. So, it keeps you well disciplined, keeps you following your rules. You just have to balance it with that feeling of being scared to execute because you're afraid of being wrong in front of people. You have to be okay being wrong in front of people, but it's really good for keeping you in line for doing, absolutely tilting. 2 minutes till the open now. Overnight value high shifted up slightly. Still in that exact area I want it to be. Really nice. Tim, you've been following since the Silver Bullet days. Wow, hit 20 years old today. Happy birthday, man. Appreciate you following me for so long. Silver Bullet days takes it right back to the beginning. Dan, how in depth is the course? I like your videos on finding A+ setups in New York Open Strat. Very short videos with jam-packed with information. Yes, Dan. Same. So the course goes A to Z. Number one, the theory behind the volume profile, auction market theory, goes behind, the why behind everything, and then goes through all the practical setups, how to find trade setups using volume profile day to day. And then you have a bunch of examples as well. And then in the school community, which is the add-on after you complete the course, optional add-on, it has the trade playbook, which has more of like those videos you're mentioning, more of those being broken down, added to every week. Let me get 2 to 3 a week in that playbook. $147. The course is $147. One-time fee. Again, that's changing soon, but for now, at least till the end of the week, it'll be there. I'm working on changing it all over to the school group. But yes. Oh, POC just shifted. And we're on the open right now. All right, so overnight point of control is now right where we are. We're on the open. Overnight value high has actually shifted up higher. Crazy. All right. Tis a development. Let me just get my trading screen ready. We have opened. We have opened. Let's go. We lost one confluence to the highs. Let me just stop extending this profile. 1 second. Cool, we're in. Let's go. Not in the trade, but we're in. We're on. We're open. So that overnight value high has shifted up. It's now at 6802.25. Still a valid support area down where I was looking here. but we have lost a single confluence, and that's a B rank trade, but that's all right. We have point of control is now at previous day's value high, so fair value has shifted up to the premium level. So let's see what we get here, see how this develops. No trade yet. You will see my trade on the chart because I'm logged into TradingView via my Tradeovate account here. I'm not going to trade off TradingView, but you'll see my position on the chart. So you'll know when I'm in, but do not copy trade. Make your own trading decisions, but you will see my position once I get live. So I'm also looking to see how we hold up around point of control here. If we can hold point of control and keep pushing up, then I'll just be following that trend until that changes. So now a new profile is started. So we've closed off that 930 profile, starting a new profile from 930, and having that extend right as price develops. I don't use anything on that profile until at least 10 a.m., but I will still use confluences from these previous day value levels. All right, starting off strong here already. Massive node right across those value levels. 79850. 79850, that's a potential play there. Cool. All right, I've got 79850. I'm going to get 5 off at 802. And stop loss at 5 points. Sorry, stop loss down here actually. What's that? 6795. 6795.0. There we are. Stop loss and take profit is set. I've got one runner to go if this hits take profit. Trade's running up. Looking to get out at 3.5 points on the majority of this position. And if that, once those 5 contracts fill, moving stop to break even and seeing if I can get a runner off this trade. 1 tick away from fill, stop going up. Close, 1 tick off fill, so close, so close. Haven't placed a stop down just yet, but holding it up here just in case we get a quick snap back around. Just watching to see if we can hold that support right there across the OPOC and PDVH. So far, so good. It's rendering a bit of resistance against this node up top. Just giving it a chance to breathe and getting a bit of resistance on that upper node there. A bit of resistance, but it's not looking too bad. Leave that stop sitting right there below the node. See if it can hold support. So far, so good. Running into resistance up at that node we put at the all-time highs. Nothing crazy yet. One tick off that fill. Very, very naughty. Back to the entry here. Back to that support level. See if it holds. Holding so far. Very, very naughty tease on that first. One tick off filling. Very naughty. See if we can come right back. Again, this is a resistance level right at all-time highs. That high volume node right across here. So it's got a little bit to work through. Nothing crazy. Okay, it's close to that same target. See if I can get filled this time. Same resistance level, back to support. Man, a lot of volume coming in at these highs. Really, really crazy. Timing sales going insane up here. Gotta say, there's way more fun and interesting to trade than my usual afternoon or Asian session. That's for sure. Let's go. And back up, same resistance level. See if it can pop this time. So much volume coming in here. Insane. This profile, the developing profile here. Once we get about half an hour's worth of volume in, that'll be way more evident, but a lot of transactions happening right here at these highs. Overall, I really like this position where I'm entered, so if it was to stop out at where my stop loss is now, I'd likely re-enter. So I'm going to put that just where it is at 1-to-1. Just let it sit. I'm actually really happy with where this position is. So we'll see if they can get the fill up above. Looking to get a fill at overnight value high just underneath that level, and then hopefully hold a runner on if we can keep pushing. If it stops me out, we might be looking at a break back towards fair value, in which case I'll take a second trade down here. So I like where it is. So far, support holding so good. Just not able to break up above that node above yet. Let's see how she goes. Man, very, very, very engaging to trade the open. Liking it. So yeah, see the old stop loss there? Would have been hit out, stopped out on my moved stop loss. But I would have re-entered. I like where that position is. As long as it holds. If it doesn't hold, I'll look to get my next position down here at 791-ish. Man, real tease on that trade though, eh? Real naughty tease. Ooh, point of control, heavy down here, heavy, heavy. Anyone watching the time and sales, bunch of orders flooding in there on this level, a bunch. Still holding around point of control of the previous overnight right here. I want to see that pop reaction from this point. This is good level of support if it's going to continue to push the highs. Really good. Why is my profile not expanding? There it is. Yeah, it is. Good, good, good. Good, good, good. Okay, it's come back into the value area now. That is such a shame, man. That was a really, really close trade. Might take profit a little bit too far above the high volume node, unfortunately. That's all right. If this stops out, I'm still looking for a long continuation. I'll be looking down at 791. But it has broken through that POC so far. Just peeked out the other side. It's playing with me right here. It's teasing me on both ends, boys and girls. Very annoying. It's about a tick away from filling that stop. Still looking to play long, but next play will be down here at 790. Annoying, man. Very annoying. One tick from fill on that take profit. Almost got the half an hour of volume put on the new profile here, which will be an added confluence in the next trade if I need to take another trade after this. The developing profile will become more relevant very, very soon. Just waiting on that opening range to be put in. Another 12, 13 minutes to go. And here she comes. There we are. That is stopped out. One tick away from the fill. That trader there was so good, so valid, but I was unfortunately just luck of the draw on that one. Unfortunate on the fill. That was one trade stopped out. I'm going to wait to see if this pulls back down towards previous day's point of control. I will get long again down here at 791.50. Very, very unlucky on that fill. Very unlucky. Look where that sell limit was. Look where it traded. Oh, she'll do it to you, man. She'll do it to you. So yeah, next one, looking to see if it comes back down towards previous day's point of control, and then I will take that as a next long opportunity. Let's see. Let me just remove some clutter from here. Let's get this one gone for now. There we are. I'll be able to use in 12 minutes. We'll also be able to use the developing profile for added confluence as well. Unfortunate on that take profit target. Trade idea is valid. It played out. Just a tick away from a fill. Sometimes it's going to happen. Let's see if we can get a deeper pullback here. Otherwise, I'm not afraid to take the same trade setup if this fails to break down. I still like that. It's a really good level of support for looking to continue this push high. So I still like that. But if we can get a deeper pullback, then I'll trade that as well. So 791.50 is where I'm looking next. Same trade idea here. Good example, though, boys and girls, of that one factor of randomness in trading you can't really do much about. Right trade, good trade. You know, that first one, good trade, right trade. Just luck playing a factor and not getting filled by one tick and it coming all the way back. So there's the chaos of the game we play, unfortunately. There we are, looking at 791.50 next if we pull back here. Let me use actually a bracket on this. That developing profile's got another 10 minutes until that starts to become more valid. Let's see if this pulls back down. Gotta say, as a Asian session trader or New York afternoon session trader at best, really loving the morning sessions. Really, really good. Not a lot of waiting going on in the morning sessions. Gotta love it. Eight minutes to go till that first 30 minutes is put in, then that developing profile becomes relevant. So let's see. So far, you can't really see it, right? Because it's very small. But you got fair value sitting above overnight point of control, value area low being at around that support level that I longed at initially. So if it breaks back into that area of value, I'll be looking at that same trade idea from the first trade, just round two. If not, if it pulls back and continues to drop down a bit more, 79150 is my next area I'm looking to long, and just trying to take a bounce from here. Potentially leave a runner as well if it is going to go up today. This is the next area, fair value of yesterday. A decent area to look for support. So let's see. Seven minutes to go on this profile. Do you count that small node as a second confluence? It's not a big node. If you're talking about this one here, no, I'd more count that as just the noise in between these two bigger nodes. I don't like to trade every little blip on the profile, more so the significant edges, and especially when they're in line with a value level. Will they ever go live for Asia session, even if it's just one day? Yes, Alejandro, absolutely. I'm just traveling at the moment, hence the New York morning sessions. This is not my normal session, nor will it ever be as long as I live in New Zealand, unfortunately. But yes, Asian sessions will be going live for, absolutely. NYPM and Asia, every now and then. Yeah, Troy. It's totally valid. The reason I don't just close in this case is because with the New York session, with the New York Open specifically, I'm expect a lot more volatility. So I wanted to give it a bit of room to breathe. So it's kind of me just on the fly making those decisions for take profit. Yeah, that situation, the first trade coming one tick away from closing, it's just unfortunate, really. Just unfortunate. But yeah, gotta also keeping in mind with the New York Open being very volatile, gotta also give the trades their room to breathe. Okay, there we go. Cool. We're back into value. Back into value of where that previous trade was. So 1 second. 1 second. Must focus. Okay. Same trade idea as before. Not that wide of a stop, no sir. Same trade idea as before. Second attempt, last attempt here at that same trade idea. We broke back up into value, so looking to see if we can now push out that same trade I had at the initial trade. So target is 681.5. And again, holding a runner if it does break. Shit, not a bracket. Let me get this. Hold on a second. Turn off my brackets. There we go. 681.5 is my target. And if it does break, taking a runner on this contract. If I am wrong here, this is going to use this level as resistance and then come back down, which it's about to do. Unlucky. We almost got that developing profile put in as well. Almost got it there. 3 minutes, and then that can start to become more relevant. Oops, my bad. You can see if we zoom in on that developing profile, value area low, point of control is right on the overnight point of control right there. So same value area as the overnight so far. Very, very close here. And stop out on that one. I misread that totally. Misread that. Hit that same support level as resistance from the underside. If you clear it out. Same thing. Came up, retest, resistance, textbook. Textbook. That is fine. Let me just switch to my other account here. 1 second. Taking 2 losses on that first take profit trader account. Second trade was not that great. Jumped the gun a little bit, but that's okay. Okay. If that resistance does push us back down towards here, PDPOC plus high volume, no B rank trade on this next one. Let me just switch to the accounts I need. Ooh, pretty violent, man. I'm liking this movement. Got to adapt my, not trade signs, got to adapt my targets and stop losses to this type of movement. It's interesting. 5 points, 3 points a bit tight. Maybe 5 points is a bit more forgiving, but yeah, that second trade was. Textbook came down, broke support, up, resistance, boom, back down. $791.50, there we are. Cool, we've got that first 30 minutes in now, so that developing profile, now these levels can start to become more relevant. So we got your value area low of the current session sitting just below previous day's value high. Fair value just below that point as well. So all that means, all I'm seeing this meaning right now, is that following the trend, obviously upwards trend, bullish trend, following the trend, we're in a discounted level according to this current profile. Discounted level is right where we are. So if we're going to continue upwards, the 791.50 is looking pretty sweet. Let's see. I got 2 more trades in the bag here to go before I call it a day. I want that to be 6. Sorry, 6 contracts. Cool. Just have the stop loss behind. If that gets filled, almost got filled there. Cool. Didn't get filled on that first tap, but my order is sitting at 791.50, which is the next area of support I was looking at. So looking at high volume node right in line with the previous day's point of control. Again, just looking for a bounce here. And we'll hold a runner if that gets filled and goes to take profit. We'll hold a runner. Stop loss down at 787.50. And take profit up towards the current session point of control. 794.75. And yep, there we are. That's the next trade. That one there, if that hits take profit again, trying to hold a runner here, anticipating if we keep pushing out those highs. This is my hopes here today. My hopes and dreams. So we can start to use this developing profile now as a form of confluence and targeting. Take profit target is skewed slightly less than 1-to-1. It's because I want to get the majority of the position off. If we get a reaction here, I want to get the majority of the position off at the current session point of control. Will be the ideal exit for my trade here. There we are. Tap PDPOC within that high volume node. And let's go. Giving it a 4-point stop, a little bit bigger than the 3 points. As long as it's outside the high volume node, I like it. I like the stop loss placement, but 3 points feeling a bit tight for New York AM. That's what I mean. I got to adapt my approach from slower markets to faster markets to make sure it's workable. Getting a little reaction from this previous day's point of control level. See if it holds up. See if this is where it holds the trend. Would love to see this continue up. Would love to catch one of those nice New York AM rocket ships. Yeah, it's been good, man. Trading this New York Open's been a good, interesting session for me. It's the second one in the bag. I think I've traded a total total of like 5 New York open sessions in my life, purely because of where I live. It's not at a time that I'm willing to wake up consistently. So normally I'm doing slow markets. This has been really, really interesting for me. When you trade slow markets, you don't even fathom this level of volume and speed. It's quite nice. Do have to adapt my stop loss and take profit placement, like I said. Definitely requires wider stops than what I normally use. So just kind of experimenting with that on the fly as we go here. Also depends on the day, but yeah, 3 points is what I'm normally getting away with in those slow markets. Is a bit tight in these New York sessions, in the AM sessions. Excuse me. What is your win rate with volume profile? Jennifer, it sits around the 70s. High 60s, low 70s. Yes, Ransom Baggins, considering a bullish, through chase, still considering a bullish bias as long as we hold up around fair value of yesterday. It's all about fair value, right? Where is fair value shifting? Yesterday's fair value point we're trading at now. So if you're going to go long, we put in new all-time highs right before the open. You never want to fade an all-time high until that order flow really changes to the downside. Not seeing that yet. It's just pulling back towards fair value of yesterday is a good area for potential continuation. So bias itself is not as relevant when you're trading the way I do. You can trade both directions and still come out with winners. But because I'm trying to leave a runner here, if I can take profit on one of these trades here, I'm trying to leave a runner to potentially capture more of a run. If we get a run today, it's what I want to try and catch. So one thing I am envious of New York AM traders is the opportunity there is to catch massive swings. But obviously my trading personality is to go for scalps, right? So I want to take a few points and be done. So my game plan today, or for all these New York AM sessions, is to take majority of my trades out at my scalp targets and then leave a little bit to run and try and catch the bigger move if there is one. So definitely still relevant, but not as relevant like Ransom Baggins said. But yeah, basically in terms of asking about, how do I determine bias on a session, it's literally just looking at where is fair value from, in this case, yesterday or the overnight session, where is fair value and how is price reacting to the fair value price points? If fair value is shifting up and holding up, then that's bullish. If fair value is shifting down and breaking to the downside, that's bearish. Okay. We're pushing up, made a new point of control here. So yeah, if fair value holds, and you've made new all-time highs, fair value's holding, no sense to fade that. So that gives me a bullish bias. If fair value fails, different story. But so far, holding so good. So far, so good. Okay. Taking off 5 at the current session point of control. It shifted down. 1 contract left. Took profit off 5, 1 left, and going to trail the stop or just leave the stop up and see if this can now catch some sort of run here. So stop loss pulled up to break even, and going to see if I can catch if fair value holds and this can push, then I've got a good position here. If it reacts again to point of control of the current session, and then reacts to that stacked double confluence up here, then it will come back. But that is that second trade, taking profit. And now we'll just see how this goes. This is my game plan for the New York AMs, is to try and get good entry points where I can catch a scalp and then capture a larger move with a smaller portion of my position. Let's see if that happens here. Stops at break even on the rest of that position. And close back to my position here on this one, on this final contract. And boom, that one's out at break even. So good trade on that one. Nice win. Nice win. No runner. Didn't get to take the runner I wanted to just yet. Yeah, that'll be a bit of playing it by ear as we go into these New York AM sessions. Again, traded the AM session a handful of times in life, so this should be interesting to play out in real time. So that was losing trade at the start. One tick off Phil. Very close. Very, very close. Good trade idea on the first one. Second trade idea was whack. I'm not going to lie. I rushed into that. That was going back into the same trade idea, thinking it was breaking back into value, but it happened to be a perfect short, hitting that resistance on the underside. And then third trade idea was great too. So 2 good trade ideas. Well, should have been 2 wins, but got unlucky with the fill on that first trade. And yeah, second trade could have been a skip, could have been a miss. So yeah, that's not bad, not bad. So green on one take profit trader account on that one we just took, and then red on the first one. So yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Break even RR right now. Not bad at all. But yes, it'll be interesting learning the intricacies of the AM session this time for 2 weeks, then back to the usual schedule. Anyways, while we wait right here, let's get this giveaway going. Let's get the giveaway going. 206 likes, perfect. Perfect, you did it. You did it. Let me get the giveaway stats going here, and let's give away 1 Apex and 1 take profit trader while we wait here. You know the drill. Let's go. Cool. All right. Let's get this giveaway going, boys and girls. Going to give away 1 take profit trader and 1 Apex account. So, in order to enter the giveaway, what you have to do, I'm going to post a link in the chat. All right. Link in the chat. Go click. Click that link. What you need to do to enter the giveaway here is click the like button on that post. I've just posted it in the live chat. Click the like button and then comment TPT or Apex, depending on which one you want to win. I will give you a total of 2 minutes. 2-minute timer is started right now. 2 minutes to enter that. Click that. Like the post, comment TPT or Apex on that post, not in the live chat. And then I will select 2 random winners, one for TPT and one for Apex. So go ahead, get that done. In the meantime, let me run through those trades properly. So let's break them down. Let's remove this profile just for now while that's playing out. Second trade was there. The second trade was whack. This is not a great trade. But let's run through the trades. So first trade was really good. The idea behind the trade was fantastic, right? It was a simple break and retest of, where do we have? I think it was down here. 5 points, right? 5 points. 5 points. And it was missed by 1 tick. There it is. That first trade was great. Really good trade. Off the bat, we had the previous day's value area high, overnight point of control, and the high volume node from that overnight session that had been put in. So a recent high volume node. You don't want to refer to high volume nodes too much for your, in terms of previous profiles. You don't want to refer to previous profile high volume nodes too much, because the older the data, the less relevant. However, because this had just closed, that profile had just closed, and that volume was put in right before that profile closed, that was an added confluence to that trade. So you had high volume node, reinforced level, and 2 value levels, overnight point of control, previous day value area high. Got long on that support level, so right off the open, got long right there on point of control. It ran right up to target, and it was a good trade. Except I didn't get filled. So 1 tick off take profit target on that, unfortunately. So that's just the luck. Just luck, just chaos that we deal with as traders. It's a good trade idea, can be totally right in the execution, totally right in the trade idea, and just happen not to get filled. So that's trade number 1. Good trade, A-rank trade, just no fill. The one thing I could say in hindsight for criticism of that trade was that my take profit target was above that high volume node, right? So high volume node is going to act as resistance or support depending which side you're on. So I could have just had my take profit target in a little bit, slightly negative R, hit the edge of that high volume node, which is the highest point of transactions there, and come away with a winner. So that is one hindsight critique. Otherwise, it's literally a trade missed by a tick. So you can't really say too much bad about that. It's just luck. Second trade, went in for the same idea, seeing that price came back into value of the developing session at the time, and was looking for that same thing, right? Saw a nice strong push up here, but I did rush into that because, of course, I longed at a resistance level according to my own strategy. So that is, that trade was whack. I would put that in my journal as don't do that again. Third trade was good. Third trade was longing at the edge of a high volume node. Right there, going long, high volume node in line with previous day's point of control. Going long, good trade. And again, that same thing applies because this profile is just closed and we'd only just put in the first half an hour of volume. I use that as an extra confluence. You don't want to be doing that throughout the day because the older that gets, the less relevant it is, the more we put volume in across here. So we had that recent high volume node plus previous day's point of control at this level here for a nice long, took profit, just under 1-to-1, and then left a runner. That runner got stopped out at break even, but overall green on that account. So first two trades, slightly red, and last trade green. So not a terrible result. Now the timer has gone off. Let's go. Let's select 2 winners, 2 lucky winners, 1 TPT and 1 Apex. Let me open that up right now. Cool. All right. Going to scroll through and choose 2 random winners here. Okay. John Pierre Boys Vert 84. I've just hearted your comment for Apex. Jean Pierre Boys 84. And then David R 34647 for TPT. I've hearted both your comments. What I need you to do to grab the giveaway is go ahead, direct message me on Instagram, and I'll send through your details for the giveaway. I put the Instagram link in the live chat right now. Instagram linked in the live chat right now. DM me there, 2 winners. So we had, let me read that again. David R34647 for the TPT account. And John Pierre Boisvert84 for Apex. Congrats to our winners. If you did not win today, don't worry. Many giveaways. They're daily giveaways. Every single day. Oh, it's Dr. David R. Yes, congrats, man. And Jean Pierre, yes, no worries. JP, no problem, man. Direct message me on Instagram. I will get your giveaway sorted, TPT and Apex, and then those should be activated within the Apex code. You can use it right away. TPT, that'll be within 24 hours. Congrats to the winners, guys. All right, it is now 1:22 in the morning here for me in Australia. So I'm going to call it there. Good session overall today, guys. As he said, 2 good trades. One just got unlucky, and the other one was a good trade. And the middle one, not so good. But hey, we're doing it on the fly, doing it live. Wins, losses, good, bad, and ugly. So cannot hide it. Middle trade was not one I like. First trade, third trade were fantastic. Middle trade, not so much. Anyways, guys, decent day. Green on one TPT, red on the other. No problem. No problem. If you enjoyed the stream, make sure you click like on the way out. I'll be live again same time tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Do this all again. It's really cool doing this on the fly with you boys and girls doing New York AM session. So let's keep going with that. Another week and a half of this until we switch back to the PM. Like the stream if you enjoyed. If you want to get funded with Take Profit Trader, code CAMCAP 40% off. And also we'll waive your activation fee for the lifetime on those accounts. So code CAMCAP, link is pinned in the chat for that. Take Profit Trader, it's who I'm using, who I'm funded with, and who I'm trading on stream with here. Apex also, I'm also using Apex, 80% off Apex at the moment using code CAMCAP, CAMCAP. So go ahead and use that code, guys, if you want to get funded with either of those firms. And if you want to pick up the Volume Profile Trading course to learn A to Z how to trade using Volume Profile, learn the theory behind it, and also learn how to find trade setups day by day. That course is linked in the description of this video, camicapital.com, where you can find it there, camicapital.com. Pick it up, one-time fee, $147, and that is lifetime access. That'll be changing very soon as I wrap it into a monthly subscription with the school group. But for now, before that happens, you can grab it for a one-time, one-off fee and see how you find it. So that's all there, guys. I will catch you guys same time tomorrow. Take